The law is already being drafted. It should be with the empowered committee shortly, after which the empowered committee will look at it, and then the center, it will come to the center, and then we'll put it up on the public domain maybe in the first week of November. It will include both the GST law and the IGST law, and also the place of supply rules, which is extremely critical for some of these pan-India services like banking, insurance, telecom and entertainment services.
So is there any timeline for the next meeting of the Empowered Committee as far as GST is concerned?
It's still not been fixed, but some meeting will be held shortly to discuss the law and the...
So you are talking about consulting stakeholders, and you have put up point of supply provisions for public comments as well. Has there been active participation from various stakeholders? Because this, like you're saying, will be the biggest game changer on the taxation front.
Actually, as Rashmi said, Rashmi Verma and myself, we are going around the country meeting the stakeholders in the 4 major metros. So we'll be interacting with both trade and industry and the state governments. So hopefully now that 3 of the business processes have already been put online, now we are waiting for responses. We will be putting up the return business process shortly, and then of course the law will be put, and then the place of supply rules. So as we mentioned here at the meeting, that the trade and industry will have an opportunity to look at all the legislation that will finally see the light of the day. So those responses will be kept in mind before deciding.
Mr. Krishnan, you mentioned dialogue with the state government. Just yesterday, Andhra Pradesh's finance minister has indicated there needs to be clarity from the union when it comes to rollout and the roadmap for implementation of GST. All eyes are now on the transition period when that go-ahead is received. How will you, as member of the centre, ensure that there is clarity to all the state governments?
As I mentioned, the Empowered Committee Forum is where the centre and the state representatives interact. So this forum has proved to be very useful. And also in drafting the legislation, the central officials and the state officials have worked in close coordination. And also, we also need to have, at the state level, we need to create some consultative mechanism in a permanent way. I mentioned it earlier also. Consultative mechanisms, more of a permanent institutional arrangement, which will be there in the period before the implementation and after the implementation as well. So we can have a dialogue, we'll have a dedicated secretariat, and this interaction can take place.
So one final question before I let you go. It's all eyes on the revenue neutral rate as far as GST is concerned. What is the process that the government is looking to follow on the same? Any kind of idea of the range that we're likely to see this in?
See, as I mentioned, the Empowered Committee has asked the NIFP, National Institute of Public Finance, to work this out based on the 2013-14 data. They will be submitting their recommendation maybe by the end of this month to the Empowered Committee. Government has also internally set up a committee under the Chief Economic Advisor, who is also expected to give his inputs in the first week of November. This will all go to the GST Council when the bill is passed, Constitution Amendment, and then the GST Council will take a final call. The Select Committee of the Rajya Sabha has indicated that, has suggested that the rate should not be too high, not beyond 20%. So let's see what happens.
Sir, and are we looking at April 1st, 2016? Is that the timeline we are still working with as far as the government is concerned?
As of now, that is the date which has been given to us. All of us are working on the basis of that date. And as I said, the GST is a transactional tax. Missing the 1st April deadline does not mean going to 1st April 2017. It's a transactional tax. It can be implemented at any time. So we hope that the tax will be implemented soon. It's a game changer. It's the most important tax reform in post-independent India. With great benefits for everybody.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.